Honor Guard. Post the colors.
Go. Hold. Quick set. Mark. Carry. Arms. Ready. Cut. Turn. Ready. Post. Post. Detail. Turn.
Please be seated. Thank you, Color Guard. Today, we're sharing an important transition as we witness the retirement ceremony honoring Master Sergeant Jimmy D. Smith for over 21 years of outstanding service. We are pleased that you are with us to share this important event. We are honored to have some very special guests with us today to share this occasion with Master Sergeant Smith. We extend a special welcome to his wife Diana and daughters Katie and Kaylee. His mother Carolyn, sister Rhonda, as well as his friends Matt and Lynn Dunn, Lloyd and Annette Staples, and Kevin and Patty Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, presiding over today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Gregory Buells, Program Manager, Legislative Initiatives, Headquarters United States Air Force, Office of Air Force Reserve. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Simply just said the Pentagon, you guys could have had a collective groan, so it's good to be here, get out of that place today. So, my name's Greg Buells, and I probably have to preface this a little bit because we have a younger crowd, but it is kind of a Navy reference, and Colonel, Chief, thanks for being here, and family and friends, so again, welcome. But I want to start off, it's not about me, it's about him, but why am I here? So, Admiral Stockdale, anybody remember that gentleman? professional honor recipient, but also ran for vice president. So he's at the podium for that first debate, kind of said, who am I, why am I here? So I kind of referenced that back to Jimmy, and he's got a pretty good answer. So Jimmy, why am I here today?
He would have said yes.
Yeah. I think I was number 6. There was 5 ahead. So, but you know, I also kind of thought I was his deployment commander for his last deployment to IUD of 1 of 4, and of course, you'll hear a little bit about his illustrious career here in a few minutes, and we're going to do things a little different. But before I start, there's many a times that as his deployment commander, and his area was a little bit off from where my office was, in a skiff, I think probably the only skiff or 18-wheeler in the United States Air Force, if not the military, for an operation called Bounty Hunter, and it was part of Silent Sentry. So there's occasion that I would come in with him and then Tech Sergeant Jake Wall. This is probably about the most I'll ever see him dressed with the scarf on, because many a time I'd come in there and I think it was a t-shirt and underwear. And I don't know if it's because they saw me coming on the camera or they were truly like that all along. So Jimmy, for old time's sake, it would not be worthwhile being around you without that on. I guess you got to take it off at least for these missions. So what I wanted to do is kind of get a chance for you guys to get to know Jimmy in the sense that you can read the bio and you can say, all right, the guy was in Right Pad, he was in Japan, he was in Korea, et cetera, et cetera. But I kind of want to get it from his eyes and his mouth. And so I told him this is kind of the test. So he had 16 questions, and he got 15 more to go. So I have 3 recurring questions and themes going to be throughout all his duty stations. And we'll keep it uplifted today, so I won't ask him anything bad about it. But it'll be, what was your favorite food, or where'd you like to eat? Since we are Air Force guys, and that tends to go around with any kind of TDY or duty. The second is truly what did you enjoy the most about it? And then lastly, what kind of life lesson did you take away? And some of those may be bad, but ideally we keep it good. So he started off back in 1994. He enlisted in November. We do have some similarities. Both of us went to delayed entry our senior year. Well, a little sooner than yours. But went delayed entry and told the Air Force, which again, a collective drone, even for the Navy guys too, that he went in open. Like open. So how many intel specialists do you know that go in open? And he said he wanted to be a cop or a fireman. So he didn't qualify to be a cop or a fireman. As I say that, I'm parked out there. Is any cops or firemen in here? So we love our first responders. We just know the scores are a little different on the ASVAB. So anyway, so Jimmy's first place that he was at was Right Pat. And you didn't know this, and I don't know if you know this, so I'm divulging some material today, but I was at Right Pat at the same time you were. RNC-141 is a loadmaster. And believe it or not, a lot of the duty stations he was at, I was at there, just never came across. So these Pittsburgh. So you can't use Pittsburgh as your favorite place to eat Right Pat. So with that, during your time working at NASIC, what was, again, best place to eat?
Fritters.
Fritters, all right. And best memory?
One more thing, John.
Yeah, so that's a big piece. And those of you didn't get a chance to look at his bio, but he worked the rivet joint and the other mission for, yeah, what was that? Yeah, I had to look that one up. I'd seen the aircraft out on the ramp, but I didn't know what combat sim was. So that was kind of another piece of the RC-135, or at least the electronic version. So from there, he went over to Misawa. He was working with the 13th Fighter Squadron, F-16. So most of the intel folks in here, who has worked with a fighter squadron? So those who have had a chance to truly get out in that capacity, I think there's a lot more respect. As I say this around fighter pilots, probably never. But at least for our pilots, especially for the lawn dart, there's a lot of appreciation, especially when you're doing the sea mission, that suppression in enemy air defense. So he's doing that mission over there, and of course, the intel folks truly run the briefing on that outside of the flight safety stuff. So they had a chance to work there and with the operations support group. And we're there, what, about 4 years on that one, right? So at that point, same thing. What was your favorite food?
Anywhere off base.
This was in the solid, for those of you who've been there. All right, best memory?
Going with the fighter squadron.
Yeah. Kind of see a theme here, by the way. And then lastly, as far as, forget what my questions are, not these you.
There's only two.
No, there's a third one. So what lifelong lesson did you learn? Can you answer that for me?
I'm sure I did.
Anyways, keep going.
Lifelong lessons. Enjoy the base you're at, because the next one's not always better.
Yeah. Well, what was good about the next base, which that brings us to Albuquerque?
And my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Good answer.
Good answer. So that might jump to like, what
I
was the
didn't get
best?
shot off base either.
Yeah. Those of you seem breaking bad. So I had a chance to work down there in Albuquerque, and I think that's probably the highlight, talking about family today. And did you deploy to Korea out there, or that was on the backside of that?
That was, I volunteered for Korea.
Yeah. So that was and so I don't want to steal a little bit of his thunder, but you'll see a common theme that Jimmy likes to deploy, whether that's by choice or not. It seems to be the big theme of all his 21 years of service. So, lifelong lesson at Albuquerque, you can't say don't go back.
Sometimes you find things you're not looking for.
Innuendo on that. And then, you said the solid anywhere off base, so what was your favorite food there?
Anywhere off base. New Mexican food is delicious.
And that brought you to Osan, so you had a chance and work with, I liked how you put that as far as, it didn't say the platforms, I don't know if that's classified or not, I'll Google it if you want. But so it was a chance in Osan, Korea, I think it was there at that same time, and I've been through these other food stations where you're at same time too, flying because of road. But, so what was your favorite place in Osan?
I don't remember the name of it.
Kind of on the main strip as you get out of town, yeah. Yogi. Favorite memory?
I
It's 12 months. Yeah. And a lifelong lesson.
don't know. Volunteer for us.
That's what you say about the Navy. Never again volunteers. No offense. So then from there is where we kind of started to meet up, just in space control at Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado Springs. Joined the 16th Space Control Squadron, first year in the operations piece, and then what we realized in space control is that he had a knack, and of course you guys capitalize on that here with the Space and Missile Intelligence Center, but Jimmy brought in a lot of his elan and common sense, and certainly working at MSgt as a young airman, and was really a superstar, and I almost never compliment him in person because it was good as all night. But in reality, and by the way, it's the most quiet I've ever seen around here. But anyways, point being is he just really took to the space control mission, and because of his background, and one would argue, of course, he's wearing his Spanx, but I would be one of those, having worked as an AW or anti-submarine warfare guy, but worked with your IS, whoever was in here, but yeah, just worked with the ISs and such. So that intel piece was very vital, and I don't think the space geeks in Colorado Springs kind of got really where space intel fits in. Some of the missions that we have in space, more prevalent, and space control was one of those. So Jimmy really took to the mission, and because of how we did our operations, intel guys could actually get qualified and certified and actually run the mission, and quite frankly, I'd say they did it better than most space operators, especially these guys. So he was brought on to really bring up our mission set called Bounty Hunter, and again, being where we are. But it's a highly classified space control mission, and bottom line is we did a lot of good things, certainly in Afghanistan, kicking down doors, and a few other things, and it just attributes back to a space control mission that people go, yeah, I didn't think that's what we did. On the surface, we protected the links for the predators, for the predator video feeds going into the